June is here, my fellow creator, and brands have got their wallets out, ready to make it rain and pay you those sweet, sweet sponsorship dollars. But Justin, no brands are emailing me. Well, that's why I did a bunch of research for you, so you can reach out to them and get paid faster than you can say, Justin just justified Justin's genius 3 times fast. And make sure to stick around to the end, because one of the brands I researched actually banned me permanently from ever using their service again. So the first brand that you'd be insane not to pitch does something interesting that a lot of other brands do as well. They require the creators that they work with to include a special hashtag in the caption of their sponsored post that say basically hashtag brand name and then the word partner. So you can actually click on these hashtags and scroll through all the posts made by other creators that they hire. And so you'd think that I would just look at the most recent posts, right? Wrong, because we don't want to know what campaigns that they're running right now. If you try to pitch them anything to do with the summer, it's probably too late. Any brand who is running, seasonal campaigns in June, they've likely already allocated that budget. So our pitches need to be focused at least 3 months from that. But Justin, how would I know what campaigns this brand is gonna be focused on in August and September? Well, I'm just gonna scroll all the way back here and see what did they hire creators to talk about last year? Because chances are they're probably gonna be running those campaigns again this year. The big reveal, the first brand is Kiehl's, and they hired this creator named Morgan Long. She made this post on August 19th of 2023. The caption reads, head to Kiehl's.com to get your perfect back to school skincare routine. So your pitch to Kiehl's would be, hey, I was curious, are you gonna be running this back to school skincare routine campaign again this year? I would love to help you amplify it in the following ways. The next brand that you should pitch is actually a software tool that I used to use when I ran my influencer marketing agency. It has features like a CRM. It helped us kind of track a lot of our deals when we were talking with new brands and new agencies, trying to convince them to hire my agency to run, influencer marketing campaigns on their behalf. It was really effective for that. So if you're a B2B creator or you have an audience of SMBs, small and medium-sized business owners as your clients or entrepreneurs, you might want to pitch this brand because I was doing my research and I found that they are actually recruiting for an influencer marketing manager right now. And you might think, well, I don't want a full-time job. That's not the point. You can actually mine the job descriptions that these brands have actually posted and figure out what's important to them, figure out what they're trying to accomplish. And so the brand is Monday.com. There's so much that you can learn from these postings. So if you scroll down, you can see they're looking for help with strategy, building and executing influencer marketing and other brand collaborations, developing user journeys for each individual influencer, interesting, discovery and relationships, building a database of potential influencer collaborators and developing relationships with them, procurement and onboarding, negotiating, contracting, etc. Creative, defining influencer briefs, reviewing and approving creator content, team collaboration, working on campaigns and collaborations with other comms, etc., data and reporting. Okay, so one potential thing that you can do, especially if you have a large and robust network of other friends, of other creators who are kind of in your niche as well, why can't you reach out and offer to help them do this on a freelance basis? You could also create some content for them, but perhaps you can introduce them to other people and help facilitate those deals, right? And so a lot of people don't think this is a sponsorship. Yes, it is. You're helping the brand accomplish a much more ambitious thing, but in a freelance capacity. And so finding these job posting is such a gold mine because they're basically literally telling you this is what is important to us, and we've allocated money to all of these things here. And oh wow, we actually don't have to hire a full-time employee to do this because this person's reaching out to us. Interesting. So the next brand that you should pitch is kind of a strange one. They're very large, and yet it doesn't really seem like they have anything to sell. Well, the parent company of this brand definitely sells lots of things, but the videos that they're hiring creators to make are not about shilling their core products, more just general advocacy. And so the brand is Microsoft. Well, it's actually called Microsoft Education, and they hired this creator named Mrs. B TV back in August of 2023. And the caption says, engage students from day one with this simple science experiment. And so if you watch through this video, they actually don't even talk about Microsoft throughout the entire thing until the very final like 5 seconds, where the call to action is basically go follow Microsoft Education. It's not, oh, go buy Microsoft Office for your entire school district or something. It's nothing like that. And so it's just this kind of general advocacy, which is very fascinating. And so when you structure your pitch, if you were reaching out to a company or a division like Microsoft Education, it's very important to align whatever you're pitching to what it seems like their objectives are. By the way, if you want access to more brands that you can pitch and apply to work with, make sure to join my free weekly newsletter. It's just creatorwizard.com/join. Got about 35,000 creators on there now. Would love to have you as well. All right, so the next brand that you should pitch literally created a playlist to make this research process dead simple for you to know what is going to be important to them in the back to school season or even the holidays. All right, so I pulled up the brand's TikTok page and I'm looking at this playlist area here, and I'm going to scroll over here and oh, boom, they have this holiday hair playlist for me. Oh, very helpful. Thank you. And so the brand is Shark. And so what you'll notice is that in this holiday hair playlist, all of the influencers are using the same two hashtags or common hashtags, hashtag Shark Beauty and hashtag For All Hair Kind. And so when you reach out to Shark, you better put one of those hashtags in the subject line. Are you going to be running the hashtag For All Hair Kind campaign again for the holidays this year? All right, the next brand is a little bit out of left field. It's not a consumer brand, but it's a conference. Well, actually, it's a company that has a conference. I love these types of brands because, you know, a lot of creators, a lot of influencers approach me and say, you know, I'm not a lifestyle influencer. You know, you always like send out these opportunities where it's like a food brand or like a travel brand or, you know, consumer electronics or something, but my audience is like super niche. Like, do you have any like opportunities for me? And so I wanted to include this example because there's so many opportunities to help drive attendance to these brands' events in a way that will really meaningfully move the needle for their business. So the brand is called SaaStr. So SaaStr. SaaS, by the way, is software as a service. It's a company that kind of is like an advocate for SaaS founders and entrepreneurs and stuff like that. And so every year they have this event that they host. I think it's in the Bay Area every year in California. And this one is in September, you can see. And so their main call to action on their site is lock in early pricing. So if you click on that, this early bird pricing looks like it ends May 31st. So probably a little too late, but maybe there's another tier, right? So like if you buy by June 30th or something, there's like another discount or something like that. And so that is the thrust of what you pitch when you reach out to them. So if you're an AI influencer, you have a podcast, or you have a YouTube channel that a lot of founders or entrepreneurs follow or something, or maybe a newsletter or whatever it is, you reach out to them and say, hey, I would love to add to the 13,000 cloud and SaaS founders and VCs and execs that are coming to the 10th annual SaaStr convention. You think they're going to open that email? They're going to open that email. All right, the next brand that you should pitch, April and I actually did a campaign for them way back in the day. You may or may not know this about me, but my wife and I have been creators for many years, 15 years, started our first YouTube channel. And so, we've done over 500 sponsorships personally, actually, I think over 550 now. So it's been a lot of deals over the years. And this was one of them. When we had our first kid, there's so many like consumer products that you buy as a new parent, right? And so, man, we were just inundated. It was a blessing. We were inundated by opportunities from baby and kid brands who wanted to like send us stuff, and then we were able to parlay those or turn those into actual compensated partnerships. And so not only do we get the free stuff like free diapers and all this stuff too, but this brand, we got a bunch of free wipes. So it was dope. So the brand is called Water Wipes. And so you can see here, this creator did a partnership in October of 2023. They're called the Trend Family. And so you can see the caption here. Let's face it, motherhood is not picture perfect. And with the back to school season in full swing, we are looking for products that make our morning routines and getting out the door as easy as possible. So this is like very much an evergreen note, right? Like parenthood is crazy, like especially as school season starts again, especially if you have multiple kids. Water Wipes is a brand that is trying to align themselves with this message of helping families, tame the chaos in their daily lives, right? And so we're you to reach out to water wipes, then you're probably going to want to include similar messages to that. Hey, are you going to be, running another back to school campaign like this? I saw you partnered with the Trend family last year. Thought it was awesome. I think this is really important, and I would love to tell that story to my audience as well. All right, so the next brand that you should pitch, well, they actually banned me permanently from ever using their service again, and they will not tell me why. I had a reservation on there. It was just a couple days before I was supposed to use the reservation, and they just sent me a message out of the blue saying that we've canceled your reservation and we permanently banned your account. And I was like, what? And so I emailed their customer service, and they literally would not tell me why they banned my account. They said, oh, sorry, we've done an investigation and we can no longer offer you an account on our platform. And still to this day, I do not know what happened. So the story is that, so I have a Tesla now, but I didn't back in the day. We got it in 2020, I think it was. This was I think maybe 2018. And as a birthday present to my dad, I wanted to rent a Tesla. I wanted to rent a Tesla so that we could, because there was a lot of novelty around Tesla at the time. There still is, but back in the day more so. And I was gonna rent one and take him out for his birthday, basically, right? And so I rented a Tesla car on a site called Turo. And so this is the final brand. I don't know why. Maybe there was another Justin Moore or something that has a criminal record, or I don't know, did some sort of moving infraction. I don't know. I really don't know. I still do not know. But anyways, I have no ill will against them, but I would like to have my account back. But I was doing some research and found that back in October of last year, Turo partnered with the Michelin Guide. It says, this is on Turo's social media, by the way. So it says, hey, Michelin Guide built its prestigious reputation, blah, 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 blah. And to honor Canadian restaurants named to the 2023 Michelin Guide, Turo and Michelin have partnered to open the doors to exclusive culinary road trips for lucky travelers. So imagine you reach out and say, hey, I saw that partnership that you did with Michelin last year. I think that was so cool. I'm also a foodie. I talk about that to my audience, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Are you going to be doing a similar initiative and partnership like that this year? Right? You could probably see there's a common theme in terms of the positioning, the framing of how I'm suggesting that you pitch these brands. And so when you reach out to them, whether they're doing this in only Canada or maybe they're doing this in other parts of the world, I don't know. But the point is that you're opening a conversation. The chances of it's possible, maybe they're not doing this anymore, but the fact that you did your research, the fact that you were creative in the way that you reached out, that may lead to another conversation. So the whole point of this is that when you reach out, you have to give them something tangible that they can react to. Whether it's yes or no, doesn't matter, as long as you are able to then open a conversation. Now, if there's a couple brands that you want me to help you pitch next month, make sure to leave a comment below.